Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a department coordinator here at SAE Institute. I both coordinate and teach in the games program at SAE. I've got a programming background with a passion for virtual reality experiences. You'll often find me in the VR lab helping out with a games project or two. Throughout the games program, you'll learn all areas of games development. Our lecturers are experts in all fields including game design, programming, marketing, media analysis, 2D and 3D asset pipelines. In the games program at SAE, you'll start creating games from the very first trimester. In those early trimesters, you'll be learning the foundational skills that will allow you to collaborate and develop on game projects. You'll learn the coding, the design, and the production skills necessary to work on interdisciplinary studio projects. These interdisciplinary projects will be facilitated by our industry experienced lecturers and will guide you through building amazing games for your portfolio. You'll be approaching a range of technical, design, programming and creative areas throughout. You'll work with all creative fields related to game development. That's audio designers for original sound effects and music, that's graphic designers for box art and marketing, and that's animators for original 3D assets including characters and environment.
I'm Dylan from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a game developer. That's Ali, my parrot. And yeah, I make games based around fear. Elden was my final project at SAE. The whole game is based around fear of the unknown. So it's a Lovecraftian inspired game, but it's more inspired by me moving out of home when I was like 15 years old. So there's no dialogue in the game. All the dialogue is hidden behind an unknown language, and there's like no pop-ups and there's no tutorial. There's no hand-holding. Basically, it just puts you into the world and it has you ask a lot of questions and never really gives you answers. So it's all just about creating that sense of fear and questioning without just, letting the player know. Because then they actually put their own experiences into it and they form the story more based on themselves than just an explicit story, which is kind of what I was going for. Creating games is really weird because it's not really like any other discipline where it's a combination of nearly all the disciplines and you need to kind of know a little bit of everything. Creating games is interesting because it's creating a world and you got to fill in that world and you need to know how to do all those little bits. As like the very loose thing which everyone understands coming into the game, it's basically you wake up, your mother's been looking into some weird magic or weird occult something and has disappeared. The world is dying and you're trying to find your mother. That's basically the very simple premise of the game. And then as you're doing that, you come across bosses, you come across other people who may be helping you and other times may not. There's not a lot of characters in the game. Obviously one of them's partly inspired by me, but it's more just a blank slate of a character. But arguably the most important character in the game is based off this little bird who's been very cheeky during this interview. The bird in the game is actually colour sampled from photos of her, and in the final cutscene you hear like a recording of her vocalizations and stuff. The style is a little bit weird because it's something I worked on for a really long time, and it does have a lot of parallels with Zelda. It took me a long time to come to that design, and it's not really inspired by Zelda, but it's inspired by a lot of works which are inspired by Zelda. The creative process has always been tricky for me because I am a solo developer. But yeah, it's very organic, because my background is in art, it's not in programming or anything like that. So I tend to look at it with that kind of mindset, and I kind of treat it more like painting than like a design, which means it can take me a long time to get to the end. Whenever I'm working on something, because I try and design things mainly as a solo developer, I tend not to do a lot of pre-thought into it or a lot of concept work or anything. I kind of just dive into an idea and I just start making stuff. The school has some really good teachers. I know but there's still Ed Whitehead there, and he taught me programming. When I first started at SAE, I didn't know what a semicolon was in English or programming. And then I had Ed for my programming classes, and thankfully he taught me both. And yeah, now I do programming full time. So that was a pretty big thing. But not only just in school, I'd say that was probably the biggest part for school, is the lecturers, because you've got that classroom time, but the time outside of the classroom is just so valuable. But after graduating, seeing I was working on a cool game, the school continued to support me whenever they could, which was really nice. I got into SAE on a portfolio, and the portfolio was only 3D modeling. So I had done a little bit of level design in game engines, but I had done nothing with programming, nothing really with design or anything like that. So yeah, the school basically taught me everything I know, because the game I just released has no 3D modeling in it. So yeah, that is very much just a product of what I learned at my time at SAE, which is pretty valuable, I would say, seeing I have a game on the market now. Elden was my final project at SAE, and upon completing my course at SAE, I got funding from Film Victoria, and it was enough money to go full-time with a team for like a year. So that was like not expected at all. I didn't expect to come out of university and be set up in a spot where I wasn't just in a job, but I was working for myself, making what I wanted to make. And yeah, like the school really facilitated that. I released a game on Nintendo Switch. It's ready for Xbox and PlayStations. We're releasing those versions soon. It's incredibly exciting to actually finish it and be able to start something new. This is something that most people go into uni like knowing, but a lot of people don't. But like, it's only a framework. You've got to make out of it what you can, and you'll only get out of it what you put in, because you need to do it for yourself. So be passionate about it and actually work hard, and yeah, you can do it. But if you don't, then don't be surprised if you don't get anywhere. Be excited about what you're doing, create cool things, and do it as much as you can. And work with people. Like, you have such a good opportunity that you have all these people there, and they're just all there wanting to make games. And yeah, you can just do it together, and like, you're not really going to get opportunities like that again, so take advantage of it.
So yeah, I run what we call game jams, sometimes either on campus or over Discord. It centers around trying to create an artifact, usually a game, in either a weekend or a week, depending on which format, and to a theme, and then just showing them all off at the end. Whatever you get at the end of that time is a bit of an exhibition, and it's a bit of fun. The weekend one in particular turns into kind of like camping out. It's a little bit like a LAN party, but you're making the game instead of playing them. And everybody usually has a whole lot of fun. Yeah, there is a lot of other stuff going on at SAE rather than not just the course.